guys. Welcome back to Ignite 2.0.
The podcast by young adults, for young adults.
I'm Julian.
I'm Tamia.
I'm Josiah.
And we're the hosts.
So our topic today is Christians and the dating roller coaster.
I want to talk about relationships.
Right, getting serious.
Once you get there,
when you get serious, because you dating, then it's a relationship. So,
right.
Do you guys put certain boundaries on you guys' relationship? Like, is there boundaries? Because, we're not supposed to be out here, but it's no sex before marriage. It's not supposed to be like that. So,
right.
Like, how do you guys deal with that, and how do you put boundaries as a Christian with your guys' spouse?
I think you should start off, Tamia. It's all good.
Give me a second. I'm trying to
You want me to go?
Yeah, it's not.
So these are the boundaries. Well, I've never, just being honest with y'all, I've never really been in a fully committed relationship. So I can't really give y'all that from my experience. But if I were, because I do think about these things, because I eventually do want a committed relationship, want to do the right thing, everything. So one boundary that I do think about is, like Julian said, the respect factor. Like, if we're going to be in a relationship, we have to watch how we talk to each other, what we say to each other, because that really matters. Like, the Bible talks about life and death in the power of the tongue. So you can literally speak life and death into your partner. Like, I've seen, like I said, I've never had a committed relationships, but I've seen a lot of committed relationships.
Yeah.
So, the boundaries, the respect factor has to be there.
Sure.
And of course, being a man, we're of this world, but we're not. We're in this world, but we're not of it. But of course, we still have those fleshly temptations.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like it's also my responsibility to get that in order before you really try to get committed with somebody. Because you have to respect their boundaries.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like how you said that about the way you talk to each other, because that can cause problems too. Because in a relationship, you're saying certain things. Sometimes, even with people, just with us, you don't know if that person is being serious.
No.
Sometimes you don't know if it's a joke. And sometimes, when you joke, you're joking so much with your spouse. Y'all play so much. Sometimes it's you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what's playing. You don't know what's serious. And then that can cause people to overthink. And then that can cause problems. So I think that is a good boundary. Watching what you say.
Yeah.
And
for me, not as coming back to me, I would say my number one boundary would be with me, and when I get into that committed relationship, would have to be certain things, because certain things I've struggled with, sexually, just being honest. I'm going to do everything in my power, like I do now. It says in the Word of God to keep your body under. I do what I can to keep my body under. It's certain environments I don't put myself in, not because I think I'm the most holiest person ever. It's just I don't trust my flesh. It's just that simple. So I will honestly say me and that person have to have that conversation. Look, here are my struggles. Here is what I've gone through with that. Here's how I've overcome it. I'd like to stay that way, and you have to respect that. Either you're in it with me, or if that's something where you feel like you could put me in an environment that can, I don't know what the word is, but you could put me in that environment that could be dangerous to what I'm trying to fight against. That's number one thing. You have to respect that I'm overcoming things, and that, okay, if you're going to be with me, we can't be in those environments.
Yeah, especially with sex, because, we're 22, around this age, that it's our sex drive is high. So,
Right.
So, it's we already doing stuff together. We do stuff together. We grown. We know how to do stuff. So it's
that's we be in those situations.
Yeah, be in those situations. That's a big temptation. I don't even want to. I can't even really speak too much because I don't want to Like, I don't even know. That's what I'm trying to see with y'all. I need help with that area too. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'll be honest with y'all. Like, I struggle with that too. Like,
Yeah.
so
Honestly, if we look to God's word in Romans 13, it says, "Let us walk properly as in the day, not in revelry and drunkenness, not in lewdness and lust, not in strife and envy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust." That was a handful. But what God is saying is, you know what you can and can't handle. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can't take this. Like for me, I stay away from, and you know, a lot of people, one misconception I feel like a lot of people have about me is that, oh, like to me it's too holy to do this and do that. It's just like, no, I don't trust myself. So I'm not gonna go near it because I'm not finna think like, oh, I'm just this like, you know, such a holy Christian that I'm not gonna do that. Right. Yes, I am. So I'm gonna stay away.
Right.
So it's just like
that.
you gotta you have to know yourself. If you know yourself, you know like, okay, that situation, if I'm put in it, it's over. I'm gonna stay away.
Right. I feel that. I feel that.
Facts.
Would that be the struggle?
Yeah, because we have
struggle.
freedom. Like we have the freedom to do it. I got my car.
Right.
Like that's really it. I got transportation.
Man.
Right. We got places.
Man.
Come on, man. We gotta switch over to another.
Being in a Christian relationship, you have to protect your eye gate. That means what do you watch? You also have the ear gate. What do you hear? And whatever you see, whatever you hear, it will attach to you. And whatever's in your heart, that's what you're going to speak. And that's what's going to come into fruition. So that's like social media. Like you watching certain things. Now you thinking about certain things because that's your eye gate. You feel me? And that's going to leak to your heart and that's going to eventually go through your actions.
Right.
For sure.
So we got to keep our eye gate and our ear gates on the Lord, on his word. For sure. And avoid those situations. You feel me?
Yeah, because seeing stuff like, even if you're watching deadly movies all the time or stuff like that, you're desensitizing yourself to seeing stuff like that. Then, like, it's subconsciously getting into your mind, your subconscious mind, and you might try to go out and make that action. Like, oh, I just seen this before. I'm about to do this now. Like, like, because honestly, I don't know if. Like I was watching this show called Power. I was watching Power when I was younger, when it first came out, and I used to watch it a lot. And I see myself trying to starting to act like
ghosts.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, why am I flipping out like him? Like, what the heck? Like, so that's definitely true. Like, like what you see, what you hear, right? You gotta be careful with what you hear. Like, that's why my mom tells me that all the time too. Like, stop listening to that secular music. Stop listening to that. That's very hard. It's very hard, but I understand what she means because some music that I was listening to, I've stopped because it has certain stuff in it. I'm like, whoa, like I'm listening to that. I was about to say that, like I don't believe that.
And you could speak death over yourself just by what they're saying. Like they talking about it's and I wouldn't say that because there are still a lot of like secular songs I listen to, but it's like I'm very careful, like. What is he or she saying? Like, am I saying it back? Is it speaking death over my life? Because it's like, you just gotta be careful. Everything. Sure. Yeah. So just like to kind of wrap that up, like even for people watching, I feel like they need to know you have to communicate where you are, especially in your walk with Christ. Like just dealing with sexual temptation, lustful thoughts, and things that you've overcome. Like you just gotta be real about it and just be like, hey. And some people. You got to be honest enough to even tell that person, like, maybe we shouldn't be in a relationship at all because of things that, you know, you may be dealing with. So it's really important to just stay honest at all times because, I mean, it's all about protecting yourself. So I had one of our viewers, they asked a question. I thought it was really good. They said, how do you separate knowing when to move forward in a godly friendship versus a godly dating courtship or like a relationship?
That's a great question.
Say that again. Wait.
Okay, so they said, how do you separate knowing when to move forward from a godly friendship into a relationship or like courting. How do you know when to go from that based off of the person?
To a relationship, basically. I feel like for me is if I feel like I really like that person, I'm gonna make a move because I'm a guy. I'm gonna approach, so I'm gonna make that move. If I really like them, if I like having feelings, I'm starting to have feelings, and I feel like we have a connection, and I feel like we both on that same type of connection, then I'm gonna approach. But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for what I want. So that's my opinion on that.
My opinion, to go from a friendly to a serious relationship, I would just say, no, if I'm being completely honest, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna like try and get to know you and all of that and like be friends.
Right.
Like, if I'm being completely honest, like if I'm trying to court you or get to know you, like, that's because I want to build something with you or something, you know. So it's kind of hard to answer that question.
No, I
agree. I agree with that, bro. Yeah, I'm not finna. Yeah. What are we trying to be friends for?
Right. I feel like there's certain boundaries. Like, for me, I would say, honestly, I agree because, like, I feel like if I'm just trying to be cool with you, like, there's only so much to talk about to an extent. Like, there's only so, like, no, because if I'm really trying to get to know you,
too
like,
old for that.
Different parts of you that maybe you don't tell other people.
So that's the answer right there. You establish it in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're a friend, or we getting to know each other.
It has to be a boundary. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the problem. That'd be the problem. They don't be telling you straight up, and then that's how people be thinking. Oh, I'm his girlfriend. No, you're not.
Right.
You're not his girlfriend.
Right.
You thought you were. He never said that. I never agreed on that.
Right. I never communicated that.
Yeah, I feel like with the like good friend, that's somebody. At first, you weren't even looking at them like that. Like, you weren't even looking at them like you liked them. And then all of a sudden, like, years later, y'all like, whoa, like, I kind of like it. Like, I kind of like her. Like, whoa, like, okay. I feel like that's the only way it can be from friends. Like, you guys were good childhood friends or something, and then you grew up, and then it came like, man, I like them. Like, we end up getting together. Like, that's the only way I see that. But as in, like, me approaching a random person to be their friend, no.
Right. I'm not approaching a random girl to be her friend.
I'm not trying to be a friend, honestly. And no man out here is trying to be our friend. I'm just be honest with you. Like, everybody got an agenda. Like, realistic.
So I got a good question. Let's just say you in a relationship, both of y'all. Just imagine. And your girl has a guy best friend. Immediate yes or immediate no?
Immediate no.
Ain't no best. Nah, we're not doing that.
That's same for me. Like, there's no way. There's just no way.
I'm your best friend.
Right.
I told y'all earlier.
What you gotta tell him? You gotta tell
exactly.
Like and,
no, that's not.
There's no way that. No,
she's
You're
not
my
trying
man,
to be my best friend,
and you have a girl best friend. You could tell me what you gotta tell her.
What are y'all like?
What are y'all talking about?
Exactly.
Where are y'all going?
Why are y'all going? Like, bro, this is not a friend. We're not kids.
No. It's not
you gotta sacrifice that when you get together.
I ain't on that at all. For real.
For real. That's a red flag. Like, and just to clarify, y'all, when we say you're our best friend, we look. When I'm your man, like, I'm your man, best friend, I'm everything, and you my best friend, you everything to me. So, like I told y'all earlier, I'm selfish. Like,
sure.
So there's no other
jealous.
best friend.
You're not selfish.
Oh,
you're jealous.
Not selfish, but jealous. Right. But like, there's no other best friend, because I'm your best friend. I'm your man. I'm the one you talk to. You feel me? Like, you get what I'm.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, bro. Like you said, like, God is jealous. I get jealous too. God's a jealous guy. Like, we have his tendencies, so like, and we're men, like, and After, like you said, I'm your best friend. I'm everything. If I'm your man, I'm your husband. I'm your best friend. I'm your provider.
Right.
I can be your home girl if you need to talk, vent to me or whatever. You feel me? Like I'm there for you. Like everything. I play all the roles. That's what a man does, and that's what the girl does for her man too. So
yeah,
all that best friend stuff, having other, that's not it, bro. I'm sorry, from my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
And to clarify even more, you know, if some people's thinking like, oh, but I want to be her friend first just to know, like, if it's worth it. Well, I'm not gonna lie, like, how I see it, I'm. Oh, okay. And let me backtrack a little bit more. They say, I need to see if she's worth it, so I don't get my feelings involved and nobody gets hurt. But you can still do that in a way without like being their friend. Like when you're approaching a woman, like you're getting to know her because you like her, you're attracted to her. You want something with her in the future. You're not trying to be her friend. Right. You're trying to be her man. So exactly. you can still get to know a woman in a way, but not friendly, but you still respecting the boundaries though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where we coming from.
Yeah. Also, I feel like women, like if you try to approach a woman to be her friend, that's what she gonna put you in that category as her friend. If you approach her to be her man, she's like, oh, he's trying to be my man. Like she know, like, oh, she know what's up. Like it ain't no friend. You guys can become friends after y'all together.
You said something in my personality that I can get rid of if they didn't like it. Well, I think what I struggle with from what I've seen in my dealings is I had a problem being vulnerable and opening up and talking. Just like I would come in, she would clearly see there's something wrong with me, and I would just be like, nah, I'm good. Or, you feel me? Denial, like we talked about the other day. So if I'm, like we saying, if you're supposed to be my everything, I'm your everything, I can't make you my everything and then like shut you off or cut you off. Like, not cut you off, but like, you know what I'm saying? Can't be cold to you. Yeah, like I'm all you got. Like
you're supposed to be everything. You're supposed to tell her everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to learn, just being vulnerable. Like I know I probably said that many times, but it's really true. Like, it's really
That's factual. You have to, and that's something like even I struggle with. Is like, can I trust you with the information that I'm giving you that you'll help me to like fix it? So it's like you definitely have to make sure that in a relationship that you're, and that's a hard thing because it's like you have to have trust with your partner to know like, can I get, how am I trying to say this? Can I tell you everything? And the things that I've dealt with, the trauma that I've dealt with in the past, you're still willing to continue to move forward. You're still willing to be with me. You're still willing to help me. Because like I was saying before, like some people could take that information. They're like, I didn't know that about you, like red flag. And it's like, no, it's just something that I didn't feel comfortable telling you. No. So are you going to help me do it or are you going to leave? So it's like.
Right. That's how you know if a person really is for you. Like,
all right, y'all. We got a question from another viewer. And it's a good one. They ask, is involvement on social media possible while in a relationship?
I feel like yes. But for me, I don't want my woman like trying to act like an Instagram model, posting her body, posting her like I feel like why are you doing that? Why does everybody have to see that? Like, are you trying to be you feel me? You trying to be one of them? Like, you trying to be those type of model, that type of model, or
I agree.
What are you doing though? Why do everybody have to see that? I feel like that's like, I don't know. Like they try to normalize that now on Instagram, and it's just like, no, men don't want that, and girls always hear this question. Y'all always saying that y'all don't like that, but y'all be liking the pictures. Yes, we do like the pictures. We're visual men. We like that. That don't mean you're the married type of woman.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a different type of like.
Yeah, it's a flesh like.
Right.
It's not doesn't mean you're gonna be getting married because my wife been what?
Right. And to speak on that, like your woman's body is sacred. You feel me? So we don't want everybody to seeing. We don't want everybody seeing what's sacred to us. Like that's for our eyes only.
Right.
Exactly,
you know,
bro.
I honestly feel like if your identity is tied to social media, it's a no. Like if it's like, oh, I got to get on social from a girl, I got to get on social media, post myself this bra with this skirt and all this. Like me getting on social media with what I'm wearing, I'm being too modest, and that's a shame. Like that's ridiculous.
right?
Because it's like, no, it's just that's doing too much.
Yeah.
And it's like if your identity is tied to what people see, and then honestly, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't care about everybody's likes anyway. Do your husband like the way you look?
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
So, is it possible to have a relationship while having social media? Yes, it is. As long as you're not exploiting yourself, you're posting each other. You know what I'm saying? And you can post, like, it's cool, as long as everything is modest and respectful of your partner. Then everything is all good. It's no problem.
Yeah, I feel like that too. It's no problem unless you're like showing everywhere y'all going. That could be dangerous.
That could be dangerous. And of course, the DMs and things of that nature. That's obviously a no.
Yeah, people getting your DMs, you talking to people, like, no.
Right.
Yeah, because even if you're not, like, you don't, social media isn't even all, I mean, even though it seems like it now, it's not all about, like, okay, just a female exploiting their body or whatever. Like, you could just be so addicted to it that it's like, it could even come down to, like, spending time with your significant other. It's like, if that's becoming such an issue, like, and then just like y'all was saying, like, putting your business out there, you just have to be careful and know what boundaries you may have to put on social media. Like, okay, I'm gonna spend this amount of time on it, and then I'm gonna go spend time with him, or for y'all go spend time with her. And boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have a question from one of our viewers, and they said, what's a good way to communicate frustration using wisdom with your significant other?
What I've seen couples do before they're about to talk or argue, I've seen them pray. So go ahead and pray real quick, and then whatever you're feeling, just have a calm tone about it. Because you can be, if you're angry about something, you need really to express. You can still express your anger in a respectful tone and things of that nature, and make sure that you fully get your point across, so that y'all don't have to renege this problem or
facts
or whatever was going on. So that's kind of that would be my strategy if I need to communicate a frustration with my significant other.
I would honestly say, for me, if I'm like just thinking about how I am now, if I'm irritated with you, I don't want to see you. Like, just respectfully, that's even like with like platonic relationships. So like people that I'm just cool with, like if I'm irritated with you, the best thing to do is let me just step away from you. Let me talk to God myself. Let me pray, just like you said, that he gives me the wisdom to speak. Because if I'm in there and you ask me my opinion and you just made me mad, or you said something that triggered me, I'm going to speak, and it may not be something that I should have said, or it may have come out in like anger. So I would say for me, I have to take a step back. Let me get away from you. Let me consult God. Let me pray and ask him to give me that wisdom. And when I'm feeling like a little bit better, like we can have a good conversation, step back in.
Yeah. I feel like talking calm, trying to talk calm to them, because I struggle with this. I get mad fast. So, I mean, I didn't used to be like that, but I got older. I've been going through stuff. Life happens. Like, frustration.
Life happens.
Yeah, it's more. So, like, I would say talking calm, and, like Josiah was saying, like, getting your point across. Like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to communicate. That's always, if I get into an argument, it's like, I'm trying to communicate. And I'm not trying to go there. I'm not trying to get in that flesh, because I don't want to act like that, and to that person. I don't want them to see that other person, because then they might look at me some way. I know I'm like going everywhere with it, but
no, I get you. It's
perfect.
like you basically just don't want that person to see a side of you that, and then people can start looking at you different. So then it's like, then the communication could be off because like, nah, I really don't want to talk to you because all you gonna do is just go off. And it's like, I'm just trying to,
right. And especially as a man, like we hold stuff in. So when you have a frustration with your woman, you don't want to dump all the frustration from everything else you've been dealing with.
For sure,
you feel me?
For sure.
Like I feel you.
For sure.
All right, y'all. So we got a question from a viewer, and they ask, "How do you balance personal goals in a relationship?"
I can answer that. I feel like balancing it. You want your spouse to have a goal. You feel me?
Right.
I don't want my girl not doing nothing. Right. You feel me? No offense. Like no offense, but like you have to have something you want to do in life. And I know some people our age, they might not know what they want to do, but if you're still trying to figure it out, that's cool. But having a personal goal is cool, and like to balancing it. Basically, you have to tell that person, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. Like sometimes stuff might interfere. We might not be able to communicate. We might not be with each other. And you have to communicate with that person. Can we do this together? That's why you have to tell them what you're doing, and they have to tell you what they're doing, so y'all can see if y'all gonna meet, if y'all can meet. Because if y'all not in the same field or something's not connecting, y'all don't need to be together. So I feel like you can definitely balance personal goals. Like that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. I think you need to make sure you know what your significant other's person. You need to know what their goals are, you know. So you need to know what you're getting yourself into. Exactly. Like I'm a basketball player, so I'm gonna be in the gym two times out of the day, and for a long time.
Right.
You know, and I go to school, so I'm gonna be in class. So if you're the type of girl where you need constant communication, then maybe that's not the right move. So it's just like you said, bro. It's just all about communication. What do you want? Exactly. What do I want?
For sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm always busy. I'm a pre-med major. I like to hang out with my friends, and I love spending time with God. I have to spend time with God at all times. Some days I'm in between classes praying. Sometimes, like, I'm doing my own thing or just, like, you know, just trying to get right. I love meal prepping. I love just trying to get myself together. And it's just like, if I were to tell, like, my significant other those goals, and it's like, just like y'all were saying, it's like you have a confliction with that or like a problem, that's just not something I feel like I could maneuver around, because it's like, these are things that are bettering me. So it's like, as a significant other, y'all got to make sacrifices, okay? Like, I may not see you all the time, but you're bettering yourself. How can I help you better yourself? Is there anything I could do, like, to help you with that? Like, for me being in pre-med, is there anything I could do to help you study? Or do you need this? Or do you need that? You want some food while you're studying? Or, you know, you want a quiet place to study? It's just like being there for that person as they're achieving their goals.
Exactly.
I feel like is a good thing.
Yes,
exactly. Right. Instead of saying, oh, you in there.
You never around.
You never around. All right, let me just go in there with you. Or let me,
see,
like
that's
you said, let
cool.
me help you study.
That shows, like, man, to me, that's a good thing.
Facts. Like you said earlier, you don't love because of, you love in spite of.
Yeah. That's a real woman for y'all.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We've been talking for a minute. We're about to get up out of here, man. We've talked about dating, relationships, sex, boundaries, all that, man. I always enjoy talking with y'all, man.
Well, y'all, we gotta go. Or like you said, we're gonna be here all day. But if you want to be a part of our show to express your comments, share your experience, or just submit questions, you can go to the link on the screen or scan the QR code on the screen as well.
This is Ignite 2.0.